Alrighty, so good morning, or I should say good afternoon. It is 2:25 market time. I wanted to open up the market and really go over some of the trades I did today and also answer any questions, do chart analysis to help you guys out and to give back and whatever I can do and really go over something. I've been getting a lot of messages from people that blew up their account, and they blew up their account on eyes, and it's unfortunate to hear that. And I actually did not trade eyes very well either, and we'll get into that as well. Happy to share with you guys how I kind of went on tilt for a moment, went on revenge trading, and that sucked. But I had rules that protected me, and I had ideas that made it to where I did not lose, a max loss day on eyes. I did not have a blow up or anything like that. But you would be surprised. I got so many DMs, and thank you guys for all communicating with me. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? What's up, Johnny, Lorianes, Sam Johnson, David, Johnny Lozano, Scott Casto? What's going on, people? You'd be surprised. I got a lot of DMs from people who blew up on eyes, and blowing up was anything from losing their entire account to losing 3 months of gains plus. And it sucks when that happens. I mean, I used to go through that all the time, and it was the worst thing. And I just want to talk about how I typically would handle that. And I want to talk about what happened to me yesterday, which sucked. It was, I tried something new and did not work for me, and we'll talk about that too. But, so we're going to be talking about a lot of things. I'm going to be showing some of the trades I did today, and I only did 2 trades today, 2 tickers. And we're going to be talking about how to handle the whole challenges around just getting hit in the gut really hard, like hitting big losses. And then we'll talk about some upcoming interviews that are coming very soon, and the interview that just aired yesterday. That was sick. A lot of people love it. And then we'll do some chart analysis. My back's killing me. Oh, my back's killing me. We'll do some chart analysis to answer any questions, maybe go over charts that you're looking at, regardless if it's swing trading or day trading. Happy to do both. Both long or short. What's going on, BL? What's going on, Anthony? What's up, Carl? What's up, Mike? What's up, Iman? So first off, guys, I want to ask you guys a question. How did you guys do today? How's the week going so far? And it is only Tuesday, I know, but I was just curious how things have been going for all of y'all. Thank you for the compliment, Mike. So, while I wait for you guys to answer that question, what we're going to do is go over a trade I did today. I only traded 2 tickers today, and that was AMPC and Exela. As you can see on my screens here, up on the top, you'll see AMPC, and AMPC ended up being a nice trade. And at the end of the day, all that matters, guys. By the way, thank you guys all for answering. By the way, Mike, Roku, the best answer that I got today, up 3R today. I love it, man. You know what I love about what he said? 3R. You don't have to share that you were up, positive a dollar amount, negative a dollar amount. I want you guys to start focusing on R's. Like you were up 1R, 2R, down 3R, hit max loss. Because the amount you're up or down doesn't matter to me, to you, to anyone. All that matters it's not it's relative to your account, right? So what should matter is if you risk 1R every trade and you're up 3R for today, that's really great. If you risk 1R every trade and you're up 1R, that's good too. So think like that, because it'll help eliminate some of these emotions that a lot of us have when it comes to trading. And I think if you just think of it as R, like 1R, 2R, 3R, 8R, whatever it is, you start to see a change in how you trade, because trading is about execution. If you execute well, then you'll end up doing well. And so hopefully that you can take away that, and nothing against anyone who just posted, like, amen, Anthony, I get it, like, you guys, that's just natural. It's cool. Good job. I'm happy for y'all. But I want you to know, or Eamon, I'm actually sorry to hear that you lost that. But at the end of the day, I want you guys to know what you should focus on is R. Whatever you risk, one R, is your return or your reward, the other R, right? So hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to go over this one trade real quick on AMPC. And by the way, good job on Exela, whoever traded that, Mike. Good shit, man. I actually shorted that. And you know what? Let's go over Exela because Mike, if you look at the chat here, Mike actually longed it and did well. I shorted it and did well. And you're probably like, if you go pull up the chart of Exela, let's go pull it up. You'll see right away that, I mean, what do you mean you shorted it, right? Look at this chart. This thing is completely bullish right now. And that's why I want you to see that whether you short or you long, there's multiple ways to be successful in trading. There isn't just one way, right? A lot of us just think there's just one way to trade, where in fact there's multiple ways to trade, and you can trade the same ticker different ways. And so we'll go over Exela first because Exela is a very good example. And someone just asked, what's R? Hopefully you got the answer earlier when I just answered. So basically, if you risk 1R, 1R is whatever value you risk per trade. Let's say it's $1. You risk every trade you do. So 1R is $1, and you make 1R, you made $1, right? If you make 2R, you made $2. You make 3R, you make $3. That's a very simple way of putting it. But here's Exela. First off, let me show you the chart on my executions. That way you can see what happened. Can you guys see this chart up here of Exela? Hopefully you can. If you cannot, let me know. But if you can, let me know. But real quick, let's go over Exela. So if you look at a big picture on the weekly, I do this with every chart that I do. I look at the big picture and I want to find out, what do I see here? And I always draw my own lines personally because drawing these lines out really helps me. Helps me see where price can potentially go. And so I see some resistance areas. Then I go to the daily. It happens to coincide with that as well. And I'll just draw these out real quick. And I do this every single time because I want to see where's resistance at. Where has a stock been before that it struggled? Because if I can find out where that's at and trade with that in mind, it gives me an edge. I then will notice right away, like, hey, look, we're breaking this downward trend. That's kind of a bullish sign, right? Although these pushes have failed, we're still breaking this downward trend. And then I'll zoom in a little closer. And at first, whenever I saw this pre-market, I thought it was bullish all the way. In fact, I personally didn't see an entry for myself, but I had this line drawn initially. And the only good news I would say is I didn't short this break because I just wasn't quite sure. I mean, at the end of the day, the stock wasn't up too much. It was up from 180 to the 240. So yeah, it's up, but it's not up enough. And because the chart wasn't really formed, in this case, if you draw this line, let me fix the line a little bit. We had a spike from 258 straight down to 235. Kind of broke it, but immediately recovered to 240s. Like when I see that, I'm like, I want to see a flush. Like if you're going to break a trend, I need to see you flush down. Because if you flush down, then there's better chances that you scared a lot of people out. But we didn't get that flush. Instead, we got a hold, right? So it warned me not to short it. So I immediately ignored it for a short. But if you longed it, ooh, what a good long. I mean, just for me, it just wasn't for me at the time. And I believe if we look at the chart, if we look at Exela, let me pull that chart. I think that was near VWAP. So it recovered over VWAP, right? Or right around here. So if you long that and you had tight risk, 230s to 250, that's 20-cent risk. This thing squeezed. Now, however, I would have sold a piece in the 290s, which I hope you did if you did long it. But I let it go without me. And for the longest time, like the hardest thing for me back in the day was having that patience waiting for it to set up. Now I'm short bias. It doesn't mean I'm going to short anything and everything that's going up. So I didn't take a short on this right away, but I was paying attention to it because I do know that history has shown me that most spikes have failed. And you see every time it gets to these key levels, I don't just short at these key levels just because it's getting there. Because at the end of the day, we're bullish, right? Look how bullish this is. And if you can quickly draw a trend line and easily see how bullish it is. And you can fix this a little bit actually, because that's right there. You can easily see how bullish it is. And so I just watched it. And in fact, I kept watching it until, you'll see a little pivot here, we got this confirmation. Once we got this confirmation, you can see on the chart here, I ended up taking a short. And it was a very, very tight short, because I didn't like that we're breaking above all of these previous resistance areas. And we're very strong. On a day where we have a stock like, what is it, INVO, that was just like, that was also just rocketing, which I missed this short. Because I was just like, I wasn't feeling it. But this one was also rocketing and halting. But Exela, is it? Where are we at, guys? Exela, whenever we got this breakdown, I didn't short right away. In fact, you'll see on the chart, I waited because I was like, I'm not too sure how this is going to react. I thought it's very bullish. I want to see it test. And so when we got this push up here and it looked weak, I ended up shorting it. And I was risking this 440s, 450 area because I wanted to give it some room. But as soon as we got this pull, I ended up covering a small piece, and I think it was in the 90s. At the end of the day, the covers were not too great. I mean, I should have held the whole piece until the first cover in the 370s because that was the goal. The goal was to cover in the 370s, maybe hold a small piece for the 60s, and that's it. That's something I need to personally work on. But I covered a small piece in the 4s or 390s and then another piece in the 370s. And I was done with it because I just did not want to be a part of this trade because it's so strong. When something's so strong, we're holding above support. Look at this support. That's a warning sign to me that this may keep going, and that's exactly what it did. And you can draw easily here. I'm sure everyone sees it. But you can draw an ascending triangle right here that it broke through, and it just continued its run. So hopefully you see why I shorted it, and hopefully you see why I covered so quickly. Because this is a stock that's already told us that every time all these resistance areas mean nothing. And look at the volume today. That's something you need to pay attention. The volume is in the hundreds of millions. When we're that high in volume, all of the other ones, I mean the highest one was here was 76 million. Literally, you can't hold a candle to it. So the volume resistance is not going to be as high, which means it's going to be easily broken, right? Doesn't always mean it's going to be that way. It just means you got to be careful. So that's how I ended up shorting Exela. Hopefully that makes sense. And you can even see now we got a cool little support zone area over here. We got support 420. And now Exela is just a leave it alone kind of play for me personally. However, I will be watching this tomorrow for a potential short if it sets up. But for now, it's still bullish. I could see myself long in this tomorrow as well. What's going on, Christian? How you doing, bro? How you doing, Scott? How you doing, Mike? Did that make sense on that little quick rundown of this trade I did up here? What's up, Trump? By the way, something you want to be aware of, guys. In today's market, you got to be careful. Like I said at the beginning, a lot of people are DMing me saying they lost big amounts in their account. Some even blowing up. And that's because the market is shifting. And it's not as easy as it once was. And that's okay. You know, as long as you stick to your rules, you have an actual process, you're going to be fine. So let's go over my favorite trade of the day, which ended up at first not being too good, right? Because sometimes trades don't always pan out as you want them to. So AMPC. This stock actually ended up working out really well. However, at first I took a stop and I was wrong. And at the beginning of this trade up here, AMPC, I wasn't sure if I should have stopped out or not. That's something I'm still debating. I mean, I feel like I traded it proper and got stopped out, but there's a part of me that feels like I should have never got stopped. I should have stayed into the trade. But what I want to highlight is the fact that I got back in the trade after it set up again. And I'm going to show that here in just a second. Hey, what's going on, Turf? Doing well. Hey, how are you doing? JC, what's going on? Samson, what's going on? Would you be looking at potentially looking to the morning if it gaps up? I'll be watching it for sure. Mike, that's why my stop loss is so tight. Cool, Mike. Carl, do you value trend lines more than support? No. I think support and resistance are more valuable. But trend lines are real close. They're real close. Like, don't get me wrong, they're real close. But support is definitely, and resistance, like, number one. So AMPC, let me get a drink and we'll get this one going. On AMPC, you immediately can tell. I'm going to go to the weekly. I drew this line out first and made a blue. If you've been watching the lives, which I've done like 7 or 8 last week, the week before, taking a break right now just because I'm tired and it's exhausting to just do live. And imagine trading in front of 80 people right now, or 100 or 200 people, and it's exhausting and extra stress, and your boy doesn't need it all the time. But what I'll tell you is this is the process I did on every trade I did last week and the week before. So if you're new, welcome. Hit that subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified when I do go live, because I just randomly do it and I enjoy it. And I release episodes every Monday and Wednesday, which is interviews with successful traders who are far beyond me, and as well as educational content on ideas and philosophies and strategies that have helped me find my own consistency. And that's every Monday and Wednesday at 11 Central Time. So the first thing I drew on AMPC is blue skies. What's blue skies? It's something I made up. It just means that, hey, we're at all-time highs. Be careful. All-time highs usually means like I'm more long bias. And that's what I did at the very beginning. I said, look, this stock went to all-time highs. And we reject it, which could be a really good sign that, hey, that's good resistance. So that's the first thing I noticed. I was like, yeah, I'm going to pay attention to this and use it as resistance. However, I need to be aware this thing could squeeze. I believe it's a very low float. If I remember, it was like 3 million shares. And this thing was trading pretty aggressively, right? And so at first, this is what I had drawn. I said pre-market. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I see somewhat of a downtrend. I definitely see somewhat of an uptrend as well. But what I saw was this. I didn't have this because remember, this didn't happen yet. So what I had was this right here. This is all I had. So my lines are there, my support resistance. You can see how it forms a chart. And that's all I saw. This is all I saw. And so when the stock opened and we flushed through, I was like, yeah, I'm going to short risking this blue skies. And I was good with that. And then when we popped up, I was like, it looked weak. I said, you know what, I'm going to add to this, still risking that. But when we had this shove, I thought that was game over. I really did. And so I started to risk above this area. And so because of that, I ended up getting stopped out, as you can see in the chart. And I'm still debating. Was that a good stop? Was it not? I don't know. But what I do know is I saw this. Once I saw this hold again, I redrew my line. And I said, you know what? This looks better. And this makes me more aware or more scared about chasing or staying short this opportunity. And so what I did was cover, and I was okay with covering above this area because I was just like, yeah, I think the odds are not in my favor. I think it's kind of a 50-50 shot. I think it can go whichever direction it wants. And because of that, I wanted to be careful. And that's something I want to highlight. When I'm in a trade, I'm always like evaluating the trade. I'm evaluating risk. Risk is constantly moving, right? It's a moving target. And as it moves, my risk adjusts. And so I'm like looking at this chart and I'm like, you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't look as bearish as I once thought. However, when we got this push up here and fell, immediately, just like you, I got FOMO. I was like, are you kidding me? We held the resistance. Come on. And so when that happened, of course, I got a little upset. But what I'm very proud about and happy is that I didn't let that make me make a trade. In fact, I waited for this trend to test and break. And when it broke, I took a starter, nothing big at all. And then whenever it confirmed, meaning we got this bounce and then came back down, that's a confirmation for me. I went ahead and sized in and I went ahead and just took the trade for the ride, right? And just ended up riding all the way down. And now you're probably wondering, why did I cover at the areas that I covered? Well, support there, right? That's the reason why I covered there. And I believe I covered, let me make sure I can look at the chart. Let's find out. Then I covered, yep. You see this right here, this 865? There's a reason why I held there. Remember when I drew my lines on the weekly? Look at that. Support. Resistance becomes support. So it's a key area for me to cover. So I covered another piece. And then when we pop back and come back down, I went ahead and covered another piece. Now this last piece that I covered right here, I wasn't too happy with, but I was just thinking, you know, if it's possible we're going to break higher, I'll just take the $1 a share gain. Let me show you that. Right around here. I didn't like that we were holding that support. And when we were holding that support after multiple tests, I went ahead and took some more off. Held a small piece and was risking above his 960s. And then when we failed there, I just wanted to ride it out all the way down. My initial cover was 750. My last cover was 753, which I did not get. In fact, it came all the way down and it did hit it eventually. But on this candle, I thought I missed it whenever it did this and popped. So I just covered up here at 765. And I was done with it. And I'm okay with that because, I mean, it's basically $2 a share. What is it, like 10 cents away from a $2 a share? So I'm good with that. But hopefully this makes sense. Why did I cover at the 65? I'm going to show you right now. If you, 765, right? Okay, so let's go. You'll see here, there's some support all in this area. So I just wanted to cover. And I didn't think it was going to trace all the way back, which, let's see what it's doing right now. We're getting to bounce back up. So hopefully that makes sense on why I shorted it. If it does, please let me know by commenting below or by, wherever the chat is, saying something. Let me know that you understand this trade because I want you to get it. Now, real quick. We have about 90 people in here. Go ahead and hit that like button because we only have 8 likes. So help me out. It helped me reach other people, and I really appreciate it. The more likes we get, the more people will get in here. And I'm going to be next. I'm going to be going over chart analysis. I'm going to be going over what I do when I hit a max loss, how I handled eyes because a lot of people blew up on eyes, and then answer any questions and do chart analysis for you guys on any charts that you want. So do me a solid, hit that like button. That's easy to do. Let's get it up to at least 70s, 80s, because we got about 90 people in here. And then subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And why do I say subscribe? Well, number one, hey, I do live trading. I've been doing live trading the past, 7 or I don't know, it was like last 2 weeks. I did live trading pretty much every day. Go watch those. They're still there. I don't do live every day, but I do it when I feel like it. And you'll know by hitting the bell when you subscribe so you're notified. And every Monday and Wednesday, I drop episodes like clockwork at 11 Central Time, 12 Eastern, because the show is called Be the Trader, where I interview successful traders, and that drops every Wednesday and Monday. So let's go on to the next thing. Real quick, thanks guys for liking. I see the likes are going up. Let's get them up. Let's get them up. Let's get them up. Let me get a drink and we'll get started. Now, let's go ahead and go over eyes. Look how bullish this is. Look at that. It's not a short yet, guys. It's not a short yet. That is bullish all the way. That's a dangerous chart. Temporarily, you could have shorted it, but it's bullish to me, personally. But let's go over this day, because this day, a lot of people got screwed, and I did not do well on eyes. I believe I lost 2R that day, and it was very frustrating. And I believe it was on... Yep, it was on the first day, right here. So what I want to go over is what I traded, why you should, well, first off, why it wasn't short, why it was a long. And even though I saw that, I got very revengeful that day. One of my biggest weakness in trading, it's not holding against my losers. It's not sizing in too much. It's revenge trading. And it comes up every once in a while in my trading. It doesn't happen all the time, but it comes up every once in a while. It used to happen all the time, but now it's like every once in a maybe month it'll come up. And what helps me protect myself to make sure that I don't ruin my account is my max loss. Like if I hit more than 3R losses, I'm done for the day. And I make sure that I stick to that so that way I don't have like devastating days. Because I know if I hit 3R loss day, like max loss, it means I'm not trading right. That's usually what it means. And in fact, I don't think I have hit that. On the days that I have hit that, I don't think it was a day that I was executing well. It was days when I got revengeful, or like yesterday, which we're going to go over, I tried something new without downsizing, keeping the same size. And trying something new is something I want to go over too, about how if you're going to try something new, you better downsize. And this is a lesson from the heart, because yesterday was a shitty day, and I'm going to talk about that too. So eyes, immediately what I want you guys to see is you can see how bullish this is, right? Easily see how bullish it is. And I don't know about you guys, but I ended up shorting right here at the open. And I shorted it because I thought, this is going to be one of those gap and crap kind of moves. We're going to gap up, come back down. And the only thing I did well is I cut it when I was wrong. As soon as it broke this high right here, I just cut it. I was done. I didn't short it until up here at 6. excuse me, at 5. Because I just wanted to be in a trade. Not because it was a short opportunity. There was nothing to short. I was just emotional at that time. I was kind of upset because there was nothing really trade for me. And I was like, I'm bored. I should have been long this. I'm not long. Let me short it anyway. And so I just shorted it and took another loss. Cut it as soon as it broke 5.10. Got out at 5.15-ish. It's another loss. So I just lost 2R right away. And I was like, that sucks, because I shouldn't even be trading it that second time. I was looking for a long. And I was scared to long this. And I don't know what it was. So I felt like I missed the trade. I should have longed it here or right here, and I just felt like I missed it. But this trend right here, guys, if you're a short bias trader, it should show you that you should not be shorting this until it breaks, because we're on the front side of the move. Sure, we have some pullbacks, and you can short these pops, but if you're going to do that, which I do sometimes, you better make sure you cover quick, right? If you're shorting the front side, you better cover quicker, right? So whenever I actually saw this move, my third trade was this right here. And I was right, and then I wasn't. I drew this trend right here. I'm sure a lot of you guys see it. So what I saw was an opportunity to short. And I ended up shorting full size, wide risk, and I covered all the way down. I think my first cover was, Had a short of 7. I covered right here at 6-ish. Most of my shares. Covered another small piece at 560s. And then held a third of my position. And instead, even though I had this line drawn, even though I knew we were still bullish, I was hoping, right? You ever do that when you hope you want to be right? Or when you're like, oh, like I'm already down, like I got revengeful. I was like, I need to make this back. And that doesn't happen to me often, but it does happen to me, just like it happens to you. And so I get questions like, hey, I usually do really well, but then I have one day I lose all my gains because I get revengeful or I size too much or I don't stop out. The only difference between you and I is I don't let it get that bad, right? I have a max loss rule. I have rules that protect me, or else it would get that bad, right? So whenever it came back down and popped, I took a bigger position right here in the 670s. And when it came down, I was like, yes. I was like, I'm even bigger now, and we're about to crack, and I'm about to make it back. Felt good. What was I thinking? Make money means I'm going to lose money, okay? Because I wasn't focused on executing, because the chart's telling me I need to be longing this, not shorting here. And I ended up thinking in my head, which is another problem. I was like, oh, I'll stop out above here. But instead, I said, you know what? I'm going to give it some room. I'm going to give it till 7. Even though the chart already told me I was wrong right here on this bounce. I just didn't want to be wrong. And when I don't want to be wrong, I'm typically going to be wrong, right? And so I got stopped out here at 7. And I was just so frustrated because then we saw this. And initially, I told myself, I don't want to add here. If I'm going to add, it needs to be up here, risking off of here. And if I would have added up here, who knows? Maybe I would have been right for a nice trade down here. But look, it squeezed back up. So I think I would have been lost. I would have lost anyway. And so I ended up taking home a negative 2R this day because I made money on that last trade and then took basically a small loss on the second one. Even though I sized in bigger, it's just because I had a good gain on that third trade. So I ended up having a negative 2R, which sucked to end the Friday that way. But at the end of the day, I'm still happy with how the week panned out because this is a new week, a new month. And sometimes, at least for me, I'm working on growing the account and working on sizing up every month as long as things go well. And when I think that way, usually when I size up, it's a little tough the first week. So hopefully that makes sense. A lot of people ended up losing a ton of money on this stock on this day because they shorted it way too soon. They either got revengeful like I did, or they longed it at these pops instead of longing on the dips. Now, a couple of things that's going to help you when you take losses or prevent you from losing a lot of your account. All of you guys, please, right now, make a max loss rule. So, whatever you want that rule to be, just put in your head, I don't want to lose more than this in one given day. If I ever lose more than this, what happens next is I'm typically tilted. If whatever number that is, choose that rule. So that way when you hit that number, you're done trading for the day. Because if you don't do that, you'll keep trading and you'll keep digging yourself in a hole. And I don't want you to be that person because a lot of y'all have DM'd me saying you lost a lot of your account. And I just don't want that to happen. Because if that happens, it sucks, man. It really does suck. Because if you lose your account or a big chunk of your account, it hurts your confidence. And then the next thing you have to do, which we're going to go over right now, because I actually hit max loss yesterday. The only difference with me hitting my max loss yesterday was it wasn't because I traded. It wasn't because I broke rules. It was because I tried something new. And I'm going to talk about how I got back to it today. So a lot of y'all, because y'all are asking me questions like, how do you handle a big loss day? And it sucks, man. Like, it hurts me too. Like, it's not fun. But I'm going to tell you what I do. So yesterday, and by the way, guys, I'm going to be getting into chart analysis for you, right? In a minute, you can put, after I get to, I'll ask a question, like, go ahead and put your charts up. I'll go over charts for you guys and answer any questions that you have. At the beginning of the stream, I went over my trades this morning. And if you missed that, just rewatch it whenever we publish this. Then I just went over eyes, how I lost 2R, which is a frustrating day. And then we're going to go over next how I hit a max loss and how I handle that and why I hit it. So hopefully you can take away some lessons. And then we'll go over charts. And if you're watching this now and you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and hit that like button. We have about 50 likes, about 80 to 90 people in here. Let's get it up there. I'd appreciate that. It's something free you could do. Just hit that button. And by the way, if you go ahead and hit that like button and you hit subscribe, I appreciate that too. And hit the bell because I do a lot of lives now. I did 10 or 12 live trading, actual live trading just the other day, last week and the week before. You can go watch those. They're saved on YouTube. Go check those out. And I just like to randomly do it. And when I do it, you need to be notified. So hit that bell. The other thing on top of that is, why do I do this? Why do I do this? Here's the reason. My mission at Be the Trader is to give back and help others. The mission is to change the trading community for the better. So if you could do me that solid, as you find your success, give back, help others. Because it's easy to flip a switch and create a chat room. Everyone does that. But try something different. Try to give back. It's just food for thought. Now, on top of that, if you want to give back and say thank you to the show, What's Be the Trader? I interview great traders every Monday and Wednesday. They drop at 12 market time, like clockwork. So make sure you're subscribed for that. But you can hit that little join button. It's a small pledge donation. It says thank you to the show and wants me to help. It just helps to give back to me. And it basically helps me make the show better. And if you don't know how good the show's gotten, go look at the old ones. It's improved over time. By any means, we got a lot of work to do. But anyway, I digress. So let's go over this max loss idea. Let me get a drink. So when it comes to, let's go ahead and delete this crap. And then let's go ahead and open A and C in. Was that where is AMPC? Okay. So, or do you guys want to see GameStop? What do we want to watch? Want to watch GameStop? GameStop looks like we're on backside, by the way, just FYI. So, what I want to mention is max loss. So, yesterday was a very frustrating day. And Mike Forst, I'll be going over charts very, very soon, my man. So yesterday was a very frustrating day for me because I tried something different. It's not a big deal. It's like, if you've been following me and you watch live trading, I usually been trading 99% of the time I use big picture time frame only. And yesterday I experimented with trying just the 1 minute. And let me tell you, I went from knowing what I was doing to just getting chopped out every single second. And so that's what happened. I ended up taking so many small losses, that I hit my max loss. I didn't even know until it told me, hey, you hit max loss. I was like, oh. I was super frustrated because I was like, really? I haven't hit this in a long time. It's been like months. I think we talked about this last time. And so it sucks, man. It definitely sucks, especially when you size back up and you have a new max loss, right? It's bigger than your last max loss. So that sucked. And it's never fun. And, I talked to my friend Scott and I was like, dude, I can't believe I did this. I was so mad. And I was like, I just feel like I don't know what the hell I'm doing, right? I felt like that. And then after that emotion went away, it took about an hour. I analyzed my trades and looked on the way I normally trade. I looked at the big picture only. And I was like, I do know what I'm doing. I know how to trade. I traded everything correctly with the big picture in mind. But because I was just looking at the 1 minute only today to experiment, I wanted to try something. I got lost in that. And I forgot the big picture. And therefore, I had too tight of stops, too dumb of entries. Just everything on the 1 minute was tricking me out. I just took so many paper cuts. And the other lesson to that is, hey, if you're going to try something new, downsize. Now I get it. I've downsized all the time whenever I try a new strategy. But this was same strategies, but it's still a new lesson. It's like, hey, Alex, you know what? I know it's the same strategy, but since you're just using the 1 minute, I know now the lesson is you can get lost in that. And so because of that, I ended up getting lost and just taking tons of losses. So it sucked. But what am I doing now? What I did is I looked at all my trades and I said, okay, I can see why I lost. I got lost in the 1 minute. And then I lost the big picture. And because of that, I took a lot of losses. And that's okay. The other thing I learned is, you know what? I still know how to trade. Because when I look at the big picture, if I traded it the way I normally do, which is on the 5, 10, 15 minute, I would have been right. And I would have been fine. So that was reassuring, right? That was number 2. Number 3, I went ahead and meditated for 10 minutes. This was yesterday. I went to the gym and I hate it. I did not want to go to the gym yesterday. But I went. I did a half-ass workout, but I did it. Then I watched some anime. That's fun for me. Played some video games. Meditated again. Prayed. Went to bed. Woke up today and I said, you know what? I'm just going to focus on my setups and trade the old school way of just looking at the big picture time frames. Just trade that way. And that's what I did. And you see my trades. It ended up being a good day. So I executed very well. And I'm happy about that. The other thing, I came in the market today, I said, you know, I'm going to be more strict. I don't want to just trade anything. And there wasn't a lot of great opportunities today. But there was a lot of opportunities that were sketch that I'm so happy I avoided. And the last thing that I did, and I told myself, I said, you know what? My max loss or my max per 1 hour per trade, I'm going to do a half hour maybe max today. Because I want to get that groove back. Because if I just jump in with both feet, if there's a little emotion in there, I may trade improper. So I hope this helps because I know a lot of you guys are probably like, how do I come back? Downsize. Get back to the basics. Trade what works for you. Maybe you tried something new and you didn't downsize like I did and you lost a lot. It sucks. But know that your way works. Get back to it. All right, so let's get to questions. Let's get to charts. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe. Do me a solid. At least hit the like button. We got about 60 or 80 people in here. If we can get that likes up to around 70, 75, appreciate it. Especially if you're enjoying this content. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, and let's get started. If you guys have any questions at all, please be sure to post your questions on what charts you want me to go over, and we'll go over the charts. So go ahead, starting right now, put a chart and like a question, like will you go over GME question mark, or will you go over X? All right, guys. Any questions you got, go ahead. Kaiwa. I don't know if I said that right. He asked, how do you size up? Say 100 shares. Do you go 150? The way I think about it, Kaiwa, and I hope this answers your questions, is I think more of, what is 100 shares to you? Are you risking, like, that's too simplistic. Because I'm sure you're not doing 100 shares of Tesla, right? You're not doing 100 shares of GME. Maybe you do more than 100 shares on a 0.01 penny stock, right? So whatever your dollar risk, let's say you were asking me, say you risk $100 per trade. How do you go up? Yes, I'd go up $150 the next time. And then another $50, and then another $50, slowly but surely. Millions in motion. OPGN, is this a setup you'll take? I'm glad you showed that one. I was watching OP, you can see my chart. I was watching it, and I thought about shorting it. But I'm not gonna lie, guys, I didn't short it, because it wasn't like, I mean, obviously now in hindsight, it looks like a beautiful short. Get in here in the tens. But the range, that's what it was. The range isn't great. And so because of that, I didn't want to take the trade. However, I saw it as a short easily because we have this downtrending, descending triangle right here. Let's delete all these lines because I'm sure this is not easy on the eyes. Let's go ahead and delete. We have this descending triangle mixed with this ascending triangle confluence. We get that crack. I was watching it and I almost shorted it. And this question is millions in motion. I almost shorted it, my man. Call me hesitant today. Remember, today's the day after yesterday. I'm going to take it easy. And it's midday. I was like, you know what? I'm not taking this trade. And it might have worked, but the range isn't great, so I avoided it. So I'm glad. Johnny Turth P, ABMB, will you take it for a swing? Initially, let's see. You know, right now, I don't see a trade on it for me personally. Yeah, I don't see anything personally. So no. For me, yeah, I don't see anything. It's just not enough yet. It's just not enough forming. I mean, you could say we have a trend here, right? And that's a downtrend until we break that downtrend. But then you could even say maybe this is a downtrend, right? But I'm not sure. I think I need this day to form. If this day forms and we have this downtrend, then for now, this is not bullish. And I would not be buying this personally. Anthony Piscatelli. Do you do any longer term investing? Grab some SSYS today. Cool. I do swing trading. So yes, I do. Hisam. Sorry I joined late. In general, why you select AMPC for your trade today? It was very low float. I went over that in the beginning, so I don't want to bore all these people because they've been here since the beginning. But I'll just tell you real quick because it's proven to have weak pops. Look at the history, look on the daily, and you'll see every time it pops, it fails. Hey, AG. I got Excella, bro. Ascending triangle. Good shit, man. Yeah. Good shit, AG. Yeah. Good shot. Good job. Ashton. Thoughts on the Excella. I had a really tough time catching a read on it. I went over Excella trade. I actually shorted it today and did well on it. But the ascending triangle is definitely right here. There's a giant ascending triangle, but there's also you could draw a baby one right here. But my trade on it, just so I can show you, because it was more of a long bias trade for sure. But I shorted it and did well. So it's AJ. Okay, I gotcha. If you're new here, make sure, just let you know, go ahead and like that button. Appreciate that so much. Ask any questions, any charts you want to go over. I'm happy to do that. We're on this section of the live now. We already went over all my trades I did this morning. We went over how I would handle eyes, how I would handle max loss days or having a big bad loss day. And today, now we're going on the charts, chart analysis, and so forth. Minty. Would love to see you analyze a large cap trade you took some time. Okay, Minty, let's go over one. So I already sold. I just sold the other day on the day that the market was dropping. Oh my God, dude. Thank you so much for the donation, Hamza. I don't know why it didn't pop up, my man. It should have popped up right here, playa. That's my bad. It should have popped up right there. Thank you so much, dude. Nah, there's a test. Okay, now it'll work. Thank you, Hamza, for the donation. It means a lot to me that you're willing to get back to me as I get back to you guys. Thank you, guys. If you want to do something similar, you can always just hit that join button. It's a small pledge, and you just basically pledge to support the show, Be the Trader, which is me interviewing tons of successful traders. I digress. So I was long UAL. It's a big cap. And I actually sold. Well, let me tell you why I longed it. So you can see this channel here. You see resistance here as well, right? So what I ended up doing is when we had this pullback, I was waiting for some kind of sign that we're going to continue upwards. And so because of that, I actually drew this trend line and I waited. I was like, okay, well, let's see how this goes. And when I'm swinging big caps, I'm looking at the hourly and the daily and the weekly. And what I saw was this right here. I said, okay, we're uptrending, but I wanted to see it break this downtrend. When we broke that downtrend and started hovering around it and then rebroke above it, I got in. My average, I believe, was 44.50, if I remember correctly. And I ended up selling along the way up. And now I sold a piece right here at this resistance, 46.79. Another piece at this breakout. Another piece at 55 because, hey, we're up there. And I was going to hold my last quarter until the chart told me to get out. And it did on this day. On this day, it broke down. And I gave it another day just in case. And on this day, I got out at 50. Because I was like, forget this. Like, I'm done with this thing. Because I just didn't like it. Now, it is still working. We're recovering. But I don't see a good entry yet. So hopefully that answers your question. Minty. Hissam. Okay, thanks. No worries, brother. AL. I wrote Xla from 275. Good job, man. Blaze, what's up, man? Small negative day is still up for the week. Good stop. Good shit, Blaze. Keep it up, man. All that matters is you execute well. It's all that matters. Same thing at AL. All that matters, brother. I don't care if you made $1. If you made $1 trading like shit, not good. But if you execute well, good shit, man. Ashton. Yeah, I held my short bias too strongly in Xla and didn't let myself sit back and wait for it to work. Oh, man, it sucks, Ashton. I don't know what that means because I don't know what you mean by leave it to work because it's not a short right now. So unless you shorted it at 5, maybe, but I don't see it. So let me know what you did, Ashton. I'm very curious. Sarin, what you risking when you add to a position? I'm risking the same, 1R. Like, I'm not going to add more than 1R. So that's what I would be doing. And I adjust my risk as the chart forms. So, like, let's just say Sarin Crypti. Let's say for a moment, to give you an example, I see this pullback. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to short because maybe there's resistance here at 550. Okay? This is all hypothetical right now. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to short on this pop right here. So let's say I get a short, maybe the 490s, because no one's perfect. Risking 550. And we get a pullback after consolidation, right? This bounce, pullback, crack. Now, when it bounces, I'm now risking off of this area. And if I add, I'm going to add risking here. Or maybe I don't add. And I just adjust my risk. So now I have a smaller loss or a break even or some profits. That's how I adjust. Hey, I lost twice on Xla, to be honest, in the morning. But those were like Fison stop outs. I had my stops too tight. Third try, I made it happen. Good job, AL. No worries, man. Yeah, it's funny. I'm glad you were being honest, bro. Because it's one thing to celebrate that something, it's called flexing, right? Which we don't approve of here. And there's another thing of being open and honest, like, hey, the truth is it took me 3 tries to get this. And that's what a lot of people don't share. So thank you for doing that. Tristan, Ears had a good resolution on the shorts today. Did it really? I was watching Ears, as you can see, but personally, I just didn't see it, guys. I didn't. I didn't see the short. I mean, maybe you could have shorted this area. Maybe. Yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see it. Good shit though. I mean, maybe you could short the spike, but I think that's very risky. That's very risky, especially on stocks like ears that is just like eyes. That has a history of spiking, which it did, and we're breaking all of these key areas. Sure, we have a history of failed spikes, which is why I was interested. So good shit if you killed it. Sarin. When I am adding to my position, I am risking new average, so mostly out on even. I just told you, Sarin, so hopefully you see that. High Rise. How much capital did you start trading with? I initially started with like I think 5 or 6. Tristan, I had 2 nice trades on it today. Nice, Tristan. Master plays. What was going through your mind when you surpassed the BDT rule? Oh my God. Not going back under it. You know, like that right there was so. That I was stuck for the longest because it can really get in your head. Silent Night. Do you use VWAP? What do you think about that indicator? I don't use it. I do have it only on my DAS execution chart, which is right here. But the charts I use for trading are these right here. Thinkorswim. Those are the only charts I use for trading. I lost on NIO from AL. Buying too early too. Got stopped out and then it reversed like crazy. I guess in a day with a good risk reward, you can still go green. Yeah. Daniel, what's up with you? Not much, brother. Millions in motion. You using 5 minutes for entries? Yes. Yes. And 10. Ashton. My setup is a high percentage gainer with a short around 20% over open. And on the 2-minute, Exela showed me a good short entry. Point. Oh, damn. That sucks, man. That sucks. Ashton, I used to be like that too, man. I used to think it was that simple. That strategy works. Like I used to trade that way. I used to trade the gap and crap. In fact, I have a video. If you go to my videos, you can see that strategy and I share it. And I did a series called Tandem Trading where I talk into a mic by myself and kind of journal my thoughts while I'm trading in the trade, the live, like no joke. And that was before I did live trading here on YouTube. And you'll see me do tons of those trades, shorting gap and craps. And I give it like 10%, 20%, and I short into that pop. That works until it doesn't. And there's cycles for that. Sometimes they'll come, sometimes they'll go. Today, Exela was just not the day. So I'm sorry to hear that, bro. But Ashton puts up a good point. Like, that is a good strategy, but at the same time, like, what's better, Ashton, is step it up a little bit and add, like, trends and support and resistance, and not just as simple as, oh, it's up 70% and it spikes 20, I'm going to short that spike. Because I think you'll see some higher success. Tristan, how do you size in? I size in the thirds. Like a third, and that gives me full. Gabriel, how long did it take you to get to out of the break-even stage? Oh my God. Dude, Gabriel, it took me forever. So for those who don't know, Be the Trader is a show that was just me talking to myself, sharing my journey to consistency. And at the beginning of that show, there was no consistency. It was like barely getting there. So it took me about 2 years to find consistency. 2 years of failure, right? Just losing. And then that 3rd year, I got consistent. And then now I'm in my 4th year. AL, when volume comes in, gap and crap doesn't work. Very good point, AL. Although that's too generic. Like nothing's black and white. Because I short things that have massive volume and rotation. And I used to think that way. Which used to be a rule of mine. Don't flow rotated stocks. And it's just bull. Like, it's not bull if you're new. But it's bull for me now because it's not the only thing that matters. It's not. Because I know you've seen flow rotated stocks. Shit the bed. Trading is injurious to your health. It is. He asked a question. When I take trades on breakouts, it will start to move reverse, and I'm very afraid to trade against the trend. Oh, okay. Cool, man. I don't know if that was a question, but I got you. Yeah, millions. I do. I go to Tandem Trading Series or just go watch my live trading, bro. Like I did so many live trading last week and the week before on YouTube Live. And if you miss that, hit the bell, man. Subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified when I do that. But I also have a series. Let me send it to you right now of tandem trading and the live trades. Let me see. Because then you'll be able to see those trades. Because I talk about it. I don't do that bullshit of like, oh, I'm in, I'm out. Like I actually talk about it. Because that's just baloney. Let's see. So here is the tandem trading series that I'm talking about. There's multiple one of those. And then here is the live trading on YouTube. What is going on, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. That is right here. And you can pick up what I'm putting down on those. Let's get back. Hey, Spotolaski. So everyone listen up. This guy's asking, I'm almost to break even on Macy's and dividends coming. Should I sell my break even? Help me just recover the heavy negative trend on Macy's. Don't want to lose again. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I can tell you this. If you're asking someone what to do with your position, it means you shouldn't be trading. It means you shouldn't be in it. It means you don't know what you're doing. It means you don't have a plan. All of those negative things, I'm just being real with you. It means you need to study more. It means you need to practice. You need to have a plan. You need to go in and have a plan, not try to adjust it and not try to prevent losing because you don't want to lose again. If you do that, you will lose again. And I want you to know this from the bottom of my heart, man. Like, I hope you do well, but I'm not going to bull crap you. You know, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to talk to you like I would talk to my good friends. I'm teaching my friend right now how to trade, and I'm going to be real with him just like I am with you. So it is what it is, brother. Tristan, he wants to know, do I actually add towards your risk level into the spike, or rather when you have confirmation? Both. Sometimes it's all the way up to the spike all the time, and then sometimes I'm waiting for that confirmation turn. It just depends on the situation. Ashton, thank you so much for the feedback. I got to start building my system because I've learned the hard way what I got isn't working. Yeah, Ashton, it's tough, man. I know what you mean because I used to trade that way. There was a period where I had consistency of just trading these couple of setups, and one of them was a gap and crap. Worked really well, killed it, and then it disappeared. So I had to adapt. No problem, Millions of Motion. You're welcome, bro. Do me a favor, guys. We got about 68 likes, about 100 people in here. If you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and hit that like button right now because it helped me out, helped me reach new people, and it's a good way to say thank you, and it's free. On top of that, if you haven't, hit subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified when I go live, because I go live quite often now, and I do a lot of live trading too that I've done last week and the week before. And if you missed that, go watch those. Sarin, thanks for answering. No worries. Tony Romella, how is it that you're the only real day trader on YouTube? I don't know. I don't know if I am the only one, but I don't know. I guess that's your opinion, but thank you, bro. Percy Lee, hey man, I just recently discovered your channel. Just want to say I really enjoy your interviews. Learned a lot. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, bro. If you're wondering what he's talking about, Be the Trader is a show where I interview successful traders, and they drop every Monday and Wednesday. I answered that question, Tristan. I think you asked it twice. Minty, preach. Thanks, bro. Mick Clodino, I see you with that cyberpunk photo. What you said was fire. Thanks, man. Wasabi, I appreciate these live trades. Thanks, brother. No problem, Tristan. You're welcome, bro. Charlene Parker, on the path to finding consistency, can you share what helped you and worked against you on that journey? That's a great question. So, what worked against me personally is ignoring my emotions, ignoring that gut feeling. For example, when those times where you're like I just had a bad day. I probably shouldn't trade today. Or I probably should downsize by more than half. And you ignore it. I used to ignore those feelings. And I'd push anyway. Because I thought it was like, oh no, don't fall for this weak emotion. Just push. That screwed with me at the beginning. And I took a lot of losses that were unnecessary because I ignored those feelings and emotions that creeped in. Because I thought I was being macho and I need to push forward. I need to be able to handle risk. It was just warning me to be careful, and I need to take those warnings. And so that's something that worked against me. Something that helped me is really blocking out everyone. I think when I found my consistency is when I got rid of every single chat room service. I thought it was just bull. Like none of them helped me personally when I was in the room because I was too busy for me watching other people do their thing, trying to see how do I do not so well, he did well. Maybe when I very first started, I would follow someone else, not do well. Or I'd have a killer day and then I see someone else even have a better day, just not do well. It would so get into my emotions that it would make me inconsistent because it would make other habits come up like, oh, I got to push more. I got to size more. I got to do this. This guy did this, so I got to do this. When I got rid of everything and I just traded by myself and didn't open any room and didn't look at anyone's opinion and didn't look at any Twitter is when I became consistent. Scott, what broker do you use for long trades? I know you use Cobra for shorts. For longs, I focus on E-Trade. That's for my IRA swing account. Andrew, on a pretty high win percentage setup, what would be a full size for your 4K account? You know what? I usually never answer this because that's up to you. You don't know your risk tolerance. But because you're asking me that, I'm going to tell you right now what you should do. You should be risking $10 max per trade. That's it. And that means when you're right, you make 20, 30, or 40. But when you're wrong, you lose 10. Do that. Wasabi, be the story. If you don't mind checking my question out, do you use a MACD as an indicator? I do not. Do not at all. Millions in motion. What time do you cut your trades for the day? I usually am done executing entries by about 10:30 my time, which is 11:30 market time. Gabriel, this is a good question because it was tough for me. How do you let your winners run, especially with one contract? For options, been having a hard time playing breakouts. So do you see my chart up here? Oop, that's the wrong one. Let me show you the other chart. Sorry if I got disconnected. I'm coming back. There we go. I don't know what just happened there. So I went through a phase in my trading, and this question is from Gabriel Lasora. How do I hold for the move? I went through a phase where all I did was take a trade and would not cover ever, or would not take profits until I was up 3R minimum. Sure, I had tons of trades where I was up 2R and then it went back against me. I took a loss. It was up 2.5R. It went back against me. I took break even. But I didn't care because the goal was to make money. The goal was to learn how to hold, learn how to execute. And I had tons of trades where I would take an entry and never covered until 3R. And then eventually I had trades where I didn't cover until 3R, 4R, 5R. That habit helped me. So whenever I take these kind of trades, I can cover along the way. So it's just practice. Ibrahim Musa. You think the recovery day will last? I don't know. I'm going to let you know right now, real traders don't know what's going to happen. No real trader knows. You know, an easy way to tell a fake trader when they say they know. Charlene Parker, bravo, thank you. No worries, thank you. Do me a solid, guys. If you're watching and enjoying answering these questions, hit that like button. We're about 100 people. We're about 80 likes. Let's see if we can get to 100 likes. That'll be dope. Hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified when I do live. I've been doing a lot of live trading. Today we're just live talking and reviewing my trades. But I do live trading too, and I just do it randomly. So hit the bell so you're notified. And go check out last week's. I did it every day last week and the week before that. Tristan, yeah. He says, do you ever scale out of a core if you only have one core entry? Yes. Yep, absolutely. Mick Cloud and Ho. That's a funny name, dude. So what indicators do you use? I see the S and R lines. I draw those lines. So I draw support and resistance and trend lines. That's it. So I don't use technical indicators in terms of like MACD, VWAP, EMAs. I don't use that shit. Stanley, love your work. I appreciate you doing these videos. You helped me get to the next level in trading. Thank you. Thank you, man. If you can do me a solid, share it. Share the content with someone else. And if you want to go above and beyond that, brother, you can always, and you don't have to do this, anyone, you can always hit that join button and make a small pledge donation to the show. Really appreciate it. Wasabi, connection looks good. Thanks, man. Saren Crypty, few more from 100 common guys. Cool. Millions in stop motion. Do you recycle or that's not your style? I do sometimes. It's not really my style, but I do. If I have a good, a good setup and I'm trading it and I'm reading it really well and I'm covering flushes, I definitely reshort pops. Like it happens a lot actually, but not all the time. Oh, things and stuff. No worries. Thank you for being here, brother. Do me a solid. Hit that like. I'm gonna answer your question right now. The R's of what I'm referring to. The R's of what I'm referring to is, think of it this way. Whatever you risk per trade is your risk, your 1R. So if you risk $1 per trade, your risk is 1R. It equals $1. If you make 1R, you win $1. If you make 2R, you make $2. And 3R, 4, 5. SPY going down. Oh, it is? It is? Let's see. Dude, SPY looks very strong. Like, it does not look weak to me. So, that's in my opinion. I'm very curious about eyes myself. Real quick, guys. Give me, like, 10 seconds. Your boy's got to take a leak because I'm drinking all this water. All right, I'm back. So, where were we? Let's get back to some questions. AL ask, do you have any criteria for swing trading versus intraday? I don't know what you mean by that, but I'm going to try my best to answer. I use trend lines and support and resistance. That's all I use. So I hope that answers. Millions of emotions. Are you using intraday lines from that day besides using the daily, weekly, hourlies? Yes, I'm definitely Definitely am. Tristan, because my course size is so small that I can sometimes not really scale out. Hey, Tristan, I was there, brother. And here's the thing. Do it anyway. Listen right now. Tristan just asked a really good question. Because my course size is so small that I can sometimes not really scale out. The only reason that's that way is because you don't want to lose money when you're right and you make money, right? Because like when I started trading, I traded really small. And I was consistent. I don't care if you lose money net, but if you're consistent gross, good shit. Good job. Because as you save up money, which you should be, you can put money in that account and then grow it. So when I first started trading, man, I was trading so small. I was netting negative, but I was grossing positive. That's what matters. Because when you're trading small, you need to build the habit. So let's say you were risking $10 per trade, you don't have much money, and you get into a trade and you get in your full size. It's like 100 shares risking 10 cents and it moves 10 cents. Take off 25 shares. Practice. Take off 30 shares, a third. Practice. And you might lose because you're paying all this commission, but you practice, build the habit. So then when you trade 1,000 shares, you make money. When you trade 2,000 shares, you make more. It's all about process. Too many fuckers out there, so much promoting, flexing, P&L, here's what I made. They're such full of shit. You know why they're full of shit? Because you don't know how much they risk to make that. Some of those traders that you follow are flexing, making $1,000 a day, but they had 10,000 shares and made 10 cents. That's such bull. Like, that's not good trading. That's called a system to sell your service that doesn't work. So I feel for you, bro, but you just got to go through it, man. Just got to go through it. I just lost my place on questions, guys. Oh my God. I want to get to y'all. By the way, if you haven't seen the interview we did yesterday with Cody, aka Odd Stock Trader on Twitter, this guy's a millionaire trader who kills it on OTCs and swing trading OTCs, which is good for long bias traders. You need to go watch that interview. And if you haven't seen it, that's okay, because it's time to go see it today at some point. Don't go watch it, obviously, right now while you're watching the stream. But if you can do me a solid, and you can do me a favor, and click on this link I just posted, and let it play in the background on mute. It'll help the algorithm on YouTube, help me find new listeners. But let it play all the way through, hit the like button. I'd appreciate it very much. It's easy to do. It's an easy way to say thank you while you're watching the show. And if you could do me a solid, hit that like button on this one so you can help me get more people to come out and say hello, join the show. And if you're enjoying this content a lot and you like every Monday and Wednesdays episodes that drop, then and you want to go above and beyond, share the show with someone. I'd appreciate it. Or hit that join button and make a small pledge donation to the show. I appreciate that too. I apologize, guys. I lost my place on questions. So because I lost my place on questions, you're going to need to repost your question if I haven't answered it yet. Wasabi, any good tools to manage capital gains tax? Oh, I'm not going to talk anything about tax, bro. Like, I suck at that. Millions in Motion has been trading since 2017. Not fully consistent, but my gut always telling me don't give up. Thanks for the help. Yeah, bro. Don't worry about it. Hey, so many times I sat here crying, thinking I was an idiot, quitting my corporate job. I worked my ass off to become the youngest partner in a firm in Dallas, making 6 figures easy, and quit cold turkey to become a trader and did terrible, lost money for a whole year, and went back to work, saved up again, had another year's worth of salary saved, quit, failed again, went back to work, quit, and then finally now you're where you're at now. It takes time. This is This is a skill that once we learn it, we can learn it forever, and we can take it with us, and we can continue to grow it no matter what happens. So take your time. Angry Garbage Gamer. Dude, I love that name. Thanks for everything that you're doing, bro. Absolutely solid content. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Mike Forrest also attached Mason's interview. Yeah, I can do that for you, bro. I can do that for you, brother. I think I can. Yeah, Mason's a really killer trader. He's a swing trader and intraday trader, long bias, no OTC. That's his link. Sorry, when I'm streaming, my throat tends to get dry. Hassam, what's your favorite chart pattern? No, I don't really have one, but I know that's not what I know you're just thinking it's that easy. So I'm just going to be real with you. It's not fucking that easy. I'm sorry, brother. But I will answer your question. Overextended plays, my favorite by far. Also breakouts, my favorite for longs. But it's not that easy like all breakouts work. Nope. Most fail. All overextensions I should short. Nope. Some of them will squeeze you. Like, it's not that easy, brother. But those are my favorite. And excuse my language, man. I don't mean it towards you. I appreciate you very much for asking that question, because now everyone else will see that and they'll know what I mean when I answer that. So thank you. So don't take it to heart. I just don't like that. And I used to be this way. I used to think that way too. Like, ooh, this is the best strategy. I need to do that. And that's not how trading works, bro. Tristan, thanks again, Alex, for taking your time and answering my questions. No worries, brother. Do me a favor, Tristan. Share the show with someone else, my man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, maybe hit that join button. Non-trading break question. Are you a gamer? If yes, what games do you like? Hell yes, son. I've been playing lately. I just started playing again. I took like a 8-month break for trading, for Be the Trader of the Show. It was just busy. But I just started playing Valorant. And I just started playing Apex. Console. PC only. Gabriel, do you think balancing your life is important when trying to get better at trading? I think so. Blaze, I don't show P&L because it doesn't help you. And I'll never do that, ever. And never talk about it because it's my privacy. Millions in motion. Do you wait for confirmation to go full size rather than using a starter first? I feel like I do better when I just wait for the confirmation on the setup and then going in bigger size. What's your advice for this? It's either or. I've done both. It depends on how I feel in the day. Sometimes I'll take the full size all the way up to the risk, or buying it to the support. Sometimes I'll take it all at once, like I did on Exela today. On Exela, I took one trade, 1 in, 2 out. Right? I took full size, half off, half off. If you're wondering what I mean, look at this chart. So it just depends, man. There's not like one thing fits all. That's one thing too. You'll learn millions in motion that trading is not black and white at all. Sometimes I'll take full size and full out. Sometimes I'll take full size and 3 out, 2 out. Sometimes I take 3 entries in, 3 entries out. Like, it's all depends. Hassam, no worries, Hassam. Thank you for not taking it personal, brother. Yeah, Wasabi. FPS all the way. My personal opinion, I'm in Ratata. Ratata. What broker is best for shorting? I'm biased. Cobra Trader. They're my favorite. I think I only paid once for shorts for borrows in the past 2-3 weeks. Only paid once, and it was 0.002 cents a share. And I trade everything. And you guys know I trade a lot of hard to borrow stocks, and they were all easy to borrow through Cobra. If you reach out to them, let them know that you want to open up with them. Let them know I sent you, because they do help me out, and it helps me a little bit. And they also help you out by giving you the same discount I have. Pima Dorier Bombs-in. Size is all matters where you enter and put a hard stop. I don't know what you're trying to say, but thanks, brother. Yeah, I don't play PUBG, Wasabi, or Cold War, brother. Yeah, I can short a lot of stocks easily. Amen. Rata. CHA or Cha. Can you explain how you use volume for entries and exits? You know the tips on volume? I don't use volume for entries or exits ever. I use volume as confirmation. So I think that should answer your question. Like, if I'm looking to short or enter long on a position, let's say I was looking to enter long here, right at the trend line. We got a strong trend. I'm not just gonna, like, if I get confirmation, like right now we have low volume, and then boom, we get bigger volume near the trend line. It means a lot of buyers. Just confirming. I'm not gonna buy because I see volume. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh, Kitty Home. Cobra's amazing, bro. It's like Chick-fil-A. By the way, everyone, thank you guys for all hitting that like button. We're at 100 likes, which is awesome. See if we can stretch it to around 110, 120, because we're about 120 people here. So do me that solid. Hit that like button. And if you already done that, hit that subscribe, hit the bell, so you're notified when I do lives. As well as, if you're new, every Monday and Wednesday at 12 market time, we release new videos of interviews with traders. Christian, I'm heading out. Thanks for everything. Thank you, Christian. Appreciate, bro. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the pledge donation too, brother. O lado negro da forca. I don't even know what the hell that means, and hopefully that's nothing offensive, because if that is terrible that I just said that, because I don't mean it. But that is that guy's name. Someone just asked, that guy just asked, when are you going to have Jack Kellogg on the show? I already had Jack Kellogg on the show, so I'm going to ask you, when are you going to go back and watch it? That's the real question. Now, let me link it for you. You're about to see right now how far we've come on the show. And this is the old Jack Kellogg interview. Go check it out. You'll see how far we've come. McLeod, no. So would you buy there? Yeah, if there's confirmation, I would. Olado da Forca. No, it's not. Yeah, no worries. No, I've never tried to get an interview with Ross Cameron. What setup? Millions of motions. What setups is not a short? Example, day 2 runner breaking above yesterday's highs. It doesn't mean it's not a short. Like, millions, I think you're thinking too far into black and white, bro. Let me help you out. I used to do the same thing. I used to think if it's breaking highs, it's not a short. But I'm sure you've seen times where, and maybe you've seen my charts, like, all right, short at the highs, and I ride it all the way down. It's because it's not black and white. You got to put everything into context. Maybe on the daily or weekly, there's a huge resistance area. Maybe that's a good area to short. Maybe on the big picture, there's a big ass downtrend line. And on the micro picture, the last 6 days, there's an uptrend line. So you're like, I'm not going to buy it because it's day 2 and it's breaking highs, but I'm going to short it because we're at the bigger trend picture. So does that make sense? You got to look at everything. BL, what did you do to get the urge to revenge trade manageable? I created a max loss rule. That's the first thing. So if I hit a certain number, I'm done for the day. Number two, I just feel it. You know when you're breaking rules. And so I just acknowledge it sooner, and meditation helps me a lot. And so is praying for me. I don't know what you believe. I don't want to push my beliefs, but I do believe in the man upstairs, and he helps me a lot. I just pray a lot. And then it's helping me forgive myself quicker for mistakes and realize the mistakes and maybe take a step back. Blaze, I'm going to go watch some live trading. I'll be back tomorrow. No worries, brother. If you're wondering what Blaze is talking about, I do a lot of live trading. You can go watch those old ones from all last week and the week before. You can go watch those trades. I'll share one of them so you don't have to go searching for it. It's right here. All last week I did live trading. Hit the bell so you're notified because I don't schedule it. I just do it. And I did it the week before all week. So, by the way, everyone, what if we do this? Let me ask you guys something. Let's try something different. Let's have a little fun, huh? I'm going to probably... Yeah, I don't have a stream schedule. I just do it when I want to do it. Marksman wants to know a quick question. How do I apply daily max loss swing trading? Same thing, man. Whatever you risk on your swing trades, per swing trade, just to create a max loss of what you don't want to lose, how much you don't want to lose, and then make sure that you take a break, really. You know, at the end of the day, like, if I take a big loss, like, which I haven't, knock on wood, but if I take a big loss on swing trading, then I'm going to take a break and reevaluate and study that trade. But it is a little different. Like, I mean, if I hit, let's say you're on your swing trade for you. Let's say you risk 1,000. And let's say you lose 5,000. Well, you may want to take a break because you don't want to place a trade right away because you're going to be emotionally tied to that next trade, and that's bad. Thanks, Millions of Motion. I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate you following me from the start. I remember when I used to post videos and I got like 10 views, I was excited. When I got 100 views in like 3 months, I was excited. Now, we got 100 people in this little live chat that's just unplanned. Like, I love it. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you all for everyone. And if you're new here, hit that like button and hit that subscribe because I already know you'll love the show. Every Monday and Wednesday, I drop episodes at 12 market time of me interviewing successful traders who are way better than me. And you'll love that. And if you're already a subscriber, share the show with someone else. Or if you want to go above and beyond, hit that join button. Make a small pledge donation. I appreciate that too. Whichever you do. Thank you. Pima, I gotta go to work. Thank you for doing this and trades interviews. I watch it all. Thank you. All right. So let me ask you guys something. Since the market is now officially closed, would you guys be... I want an idea. 1, yes. 2, no. 1, if you're down, like, hey, I'd like to see you, or I'd like to continue the stream, and because I kind of want to game right now. So like, if I game, continue the stream, but just open up my game and then talk to you guys about gaming, about trading while I'm gaming. Or 2, nah, I'm not down with that. I don't feel like watching you play games. Whichever is fine with me. I can answer this call because it's my wife. So if you want, 1 second. Oh shit, I just forgot. I have a fucking meeting with my CPA. So I gotta hit you guys up later. Adios.